Why do so many men feel lost? And is it valid? The short answer, yes, 100% valid. Yes, 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 yes. And most people barely talk about it. So let's talk about it. Some men feel expendable, unimportant, undervalued, overlooked. Now, let me be clear. These are very valid feelings because we've created this mindset like for some reason they're like superhuman. All right, statistically speaking, men are just as emotional, are equally as emotional as women, sometimes even a little bit more. I think that we often forget that anger, yelling, screaming, fighting, all of those are emotions. Those are emotional responses, right? So yes, we all share an equal amount of emotion. It's just that sometimes those emotions look different. Sometimes those emotions look like anger, right? Which tends to be more acceptable when it's coming from a man because that's what our society has taught our men. So it's so important to have these types of conversations and to address the importance of emotional responses and how to navigate that internal turmoil and chaos. I care about people. Right? Men, women, children. I care about people. So this is not for me to try to uplift one group and put down another group. That's not what this is about. But this is about me addressing a real problem, a problem that I see in mental health with my male clients, and also a problem that I see is being identified with my female clients through their partners, through their partnerships. Why are we not talking about this enough? Men's mental health is so important. There are people too. Why do we allow this air to exist as if they're not allowed to be sad, to cry, to be hurt? Sometimes we are the ones, when I say we, I mean women, sometimes we are the ones that are really pushing this machismo attitude. We have to start seeing people as people. No matter what is between their legs, in their head, we look at people for what's in their heart. Some people say, hey, I do want a man that is a provider. That's great. You can find a person who is a provider, but it doesn't mean that we have to talk down on or put our foot on the necks of people who just don't have that mindset or who are not there yet. We're also growing up in a society where men are not connecting with other men, right? We are actually all experiencing an epidemic of loneliness. It's already hard just being an adult, period, and trying to make new friends and gravitate and find genuine relationships and connections. But it's even harder for men. There's this sense of, I'm supposed to have it all. I don't need this. I don't need that. I got this. I can beat my chest and everything's fine. And I take out the trash at night. So we do need to start being more mindful about the realities of our emotional interactions with people, period. Men, hear me loud, please. You're allowed to feel. You're allowed to cry. You're allowed to have emotions. You are allowed to be the human that you were created to be. Right? Because the thing is, when we keep ignoring these genuine, true, valid issues around men's mental health, guess what happens? These men become angrier, violent, resentful, manipulative, overlooked, spiteful. And that's when we get the combination that we don't want to see. So if we want to have a better society of people as a whole, we have to start treating each other like people. Whatever you are, who hybrid human or not, whoever you are as a being who we share this world with, we have to treat each other better so that we all can exist in the world that we share in a much more pleasant way. So here's my challenge for men who are listening to this. I am challenging you to go out and connect with other men because men are lonely, but you guys are not stepping up to each other because there's this fear of being judged. And for a lot of people, I can actually take this back a little bit deeper. For some men, they did not grow up with their dads. They did not grow up with a male figure. So naturally, it will be very challenging and uncomfortable to connect with other men because you don't know how to approach the situation, right? You don't know what that interaction would look like in a very organic way, right? Without being perceived a certain way. So I'm challenging you to go out, be uncomfortable just a little bit, and connect with people that you can genuinely feel safe with. Find men's groups, find ways to read from each other, to learn from each other, to grow together. I've had so many male clients express this fear of, how do I interact? How do I connect? What am I supposed to say without seeming weird or being judged or, being awkward? How do I know? Well, the thing is, you don't know until you know. You have to go to know. So the best way you can do it is to try your best to not be afraid of rejection, because that is a real reality. But I like to say this, and I say it all the time. I know it's very hard to hear, and it's not always the most pleasant thing to hear, but rejection does build character. It shouldn't be something that deters you. And when you do find the right people, you'll be able to truly find a real connection so that you can actually start working on your mental health and step out of that lonely space. Men are more likely to successfully unalive themselves. I do dislike saying the word successfully unalive themselves, because there is truly no success in a lost life. But the reality is, men are more likely to follow through with unaliving themselves than women. While women are more likely to attempt, men are more likely to actually accomplish. And again, that has a lot to do with the mental health of men not being addressed. Please take heed to that. If there's a man in your life who you know can use a little bit of male friendship or support, please reach out to them or send them this video, encourage them to connect with other men in a healthy way. Please take care of yourselves so that you can take care of the world that is around you, and so that we can all take care of each other and feel better about supporting each other. Have a great day.